Everybody, this is Rob Martin, the Renegade, and we have got an awesome night lined up for you guys. I am going to take a second here because I want to share this to my Cell Team 6 group. So if you're just jumping on, it's not that I'm not paying attention. I am actually want to make sure that we share this thing out. So give me just a second. If you guys want to take a second, if you're coming on live, you want to share the video out, feel free to. We'd like the shares. But I need to get it out here to our groups. And because normally we do these videos in Cell Team 6 group live. So tonight I'm going to be doing it from our Cell Team 6 page because we've got an awesome guest coming on tonight. And we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to hear him and he can share it out for his people can see what's going on. Telesales, it's going to be the new thing to help a lot of these guys get to the next step. So we're really excited about that. I'm excited to be interviewing Laurel tonight. I'm really fired up about that. I'm a little bit intimidated because Laurel's kind of the man. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have, and he's good at what he does. The numbers don't lie, right? So Laurel's been doing this for a while. You're going to hear from him. And guys, another thing I want to get with you real quick. If you're everybody's been asking a lot of questions. When's MyMo Pro going to be launched? Well, we are going to be starting pre-orders on Saturday for the public. We're going to start pre-orders tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time for members of Cell Team 6. If you're a member of Cell Team 6, if you're not, you're welcome to be a member. The first 1,000 people in Cell Team 6 to sign up for it are going to get the app cheaper than anybody's ever going to get it again. Okay? Going to be cheaper than everybody else's pre-orders. You guys are going to, if anybody's interested in getting it, there's your chance to get it and be happy that you got the best deal you can get on it. It's working too many devices here. It's crazy, isn't it? So I'm going to drop this down because there's light everywhere. But tonight we got Lauro Herrera coming on. Laurel has got a training program about telesales and telesales. You know, me and him have had a lot of conversations about this. And if you guys are selling life insurance and final expense, especially, listen, there's always an option. Anytime you can add another option, if it's a different type of lead, if it's a different approach, like my money saving approach, anything that you guys can do to add value to your job and make yourself more money, you need to take advantage of that opportunity if you hear about it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get Laurel invited. I just sent the invite out to him. And guys, this is a real treat tonight. And next week even we're going to have, I can't see any questions tonight because I'm not going to look at my iPad because I don't want to get distracted. But tonight we got Laurel. So next week we're going to have Brad Lee, the real Brad Lee. If you guys don't know who he is, you need to look him up. He's done all the training programs for people like Grant Cardone, Zig Ziglar, Damon John, the list goes on and on. I think we got Laurel coming in. What's up? Dang on,
What's
man.
up?
You had to show me
What's up, buddy?
You got all dressed up. I should have put on a tie.
Hey, man, I got a Bible study tonight, and I wear a tie.
You got a Bible study night, I understand. And he's out in California. It's nighttime here. Laurel's in California. But Laurel, say hi to Cell Team 6 and all of our people out here. I hope you got a chance to share it out to your friends.
What's up?
But
I hope you guys are doing great.
Oh, man, I'm so pumped up about having you on tonight. And there's a lot of hype about this. We've had more hits on our videos and stuff talking about this than we've had yet. So I'm really excited, man. You're, I'm very humbled to have you on our show, man. Seriously, I hate to call it a show. I mean, but hey, it is what it is. But Laurel, I know you got Bible study night, so I'm not going to keep you forever. I know we got about 30 minutes or so here with you, so I want to make it count. I'm going to kind of start off. I've got some stuff wrote down. I don't usually do a whole lot of scripts, but I want to make sure that I don't miss anything, and I don't want to mess anything up with you guys. But I really appreciate you being on. I know you and your partner, if you want to give a shout out to him real quick, feel free to.
Joe, what's going on, Joe?
Joe is a serious fella. The first time I talked to Joe, he scared me to death. It's kind of like talking to my partner, Chris, man. They're very serious guys. They play no games, do they? I don't see how they put up with us, buddy. I'll be honest. But these guys, if it wasn't for having guys like that in our lives, me and you'd be a train wreck, wouldn't we?
That's right, man. That's right.
But Laura, what I want to do is I'm just going to kind of shut up and let you talk for a minute and just give us a little bit of background on you. What actually led you to the life insurance business, and how long have you been in final expense life insurance, and kind of tell you a little brief bit about your story before we get into the meat of this stuff.
Well, Rob, thank you for inviting me on your platform. And this year marks 13 years since I made the decision to start selling final expense. But a little bit more about me. Before I got into the insurance industry, I was in the restaurant industry. And I did that for up until my mid-20s. And then once my father passed away, I was looking for a new beginning, a new opportunity. I lost all my motivation at that point in time. And a very good close friend of mine, he's the one that hooked me up with an interview. He opened up my eyes to the potential that existed selling insurance. And here we are 13 years later. And I think what I'm more proud of is, I'm the father to 4 little children, and just overall, that just has me so captivated and in love with life,
You got a big wife.
Um, right, a big why, yeah. 4 little children that keep me active and motivated, and definitely working for the right reasons,
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. A lot of people take, they don't realize that's why we all go to work every day. If we have a family, that's what elevated me to the next level. Taking care of ourselves is easy, especially guys that think like,
Yeah.
Taking care of me is easy. But when you have a family and a wife and kids, it tends to take you to that next level. And that's, man,
It does.
pipe dreams, whatever people call them, I've had them my whole life. People are laughing at us, giving us a hard time. Or we're thinking outside the box. We're being a renegade. We're doing crazy stuff, which is going to
Right.
be the point we're getting to. But, you and I've had many conversations, and you've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry. Explain your role with helping some of them, get to the situation they were, get to the place where they were at.
Other than being an agent, I think one of my biggest roles in helping the agency that I started my career with was Spanish television marketing. And,
Never thought about
I had a privilege not only to create television commercials, but also produce them and do everything that it entailed, going down to the TV stations and just putting those commercials out. And truthfully, for everybody that knows me, they know that everybody that was associated with that Spanish division really blew up overnight. I mean, the agency we were at, they were doing 600,000, and when we came out with that marketing, it crossed that $1 million a month. So you can imagine how we all felt. We were riding high, man. But I think from my role, I think that's what I contribute to these large agencies, just marketing.
Wow. And myself included, when I talked about telesales, and I've mentioned, because, when I left where I was at, I've really met, especially with our group and stuff, I've really met a lot of people in the industry, some big names. You're a big name in this industry, man. You'd be surprised. I don't think I've met a single person that has got any kind of foothold in the final expense or life insurance business that doesn't know your name. And for me, a lot of times we get stuck in our agencies or our IMOs or companies and stuff, and it's kind of like a bubble. You don't really get out, And then, man, as soon as I get out, I mean, it's like some of the people that I've met and a lot of the things that I've learned is like, it helps me understand even more, because the things I had done had helped me elevate as far as I could go where I was at. I was either, submit or move on and try to embrace something different. But, when I talk to some old school guys, I mean, you're kind of a renegade yourself, man. They're like, there's so many negative things. You don't want to do telesales and this, that, and the other. When you start telling me you don't want to do this and you can't do it, that just makes me wonder. That makes me want to know more, because I'm like, well, let's figure out what we can do to make it better, right? It's kind of
right.
But they talk about persistency being bad. You have a hard time getting people's bank information. Nobody wants to give you their social security number on the phone. Nobody trusts you. It's hard to build rapport and all these things like that. It's not true.
Well, some of them are. Some of these myths, they are true. They're limited beliefs. But when people ask me or they hit me on the head with, well, persistency on the phone, Laurel, is lousy. It's horrible. Telesales it's the worst. Let me tell you what I feel about persistency. Regardless, okay, if you knock on doors or you're on the phone, persistency has nothing to do with how you do it, whether you knock on doors or over the phone, okay? It has nothing to do with that. Persistency has to do at the point of sale, how the agent is conducting that sale. And I'll give you an example of that, Rob. When an agent is whether at the door with that person or over the phone, and the agent is not 100% transparent with that policyholder about the benefits or the limited benefits, chances are that person's going to cancel.
Yeah.
If the agent is solely motivated by where he can make the biggest commission, and when he's at the underwriting table, instead of placing that policyholder with the right plan or the right company based on that underwriting criteria, and he goes with a different plan because he's motivated for that bigger commission, I guarantee you he's going to have a persistency issue. If the agent at the point of sale, regardless if they're knocking on doors or on the phone, Rob, if they don't have a strong follow-up strategy when they leave that house or when they hang up that phone, chances are they're going to have persistency issues. I mean, it's simple as that. So it comes down to the point of sale, and everybody's trained different. So that's why you hear about persistency this, but if the agent does it right from the point of sale and is doing the client's best, you're not going to have that issue. I mean, we've looked at field applications and telesales applications, and I got many friends that are watching this that are running million-dollar call centers, and they could agree that that's where it comes down to. But look, I know the old timers, you know, they hate the phone. I know it. I've been hearing it all my career. But there's always been myths, Rob. There's always been limited beliefs over the years. And I'll share this with you. When I started my career in 2004, I started knocking on doors. And I was lucky enough to go and work for a #1 agency. And, you know, my teacher or the owner of this agency, when he gave me my leads, the first thing he told me was, do not pick up the phone, period. You go to that door, you knock on that house, and then you work that neighborhood until you make a few sales. And, you know, I did that for the first couple of years of my career. I did that. I didn't ask questions. I just knocked on doors like what you call it, renegade style, right? And I did that, man, and I had a lot of success. I mean, his advice helped me make 6 figures my first year. But here's what happened. With that success, we started to grow. Our agency started to grow. And our lead supply also grew. And it forced us to have to travel a lot farther from our home base. In fact, it forced us to pick up 2 or 3 nights away from home to be able to go and run those leads. And it's at that point in time, Rob, that, you know, for us, without knowing about it, we became telephone agents at that point in time. And this is how it happened. When we would look at traveling 4 hours away from our home, you know, I'm not going to lie, I would be a little bit not very motivated because I knew that if I was going to go and knock on doors, I needed to have a certain amount of time to be able to hit that door. And if they weren't there, I would leave a delivery notice and come back later. But if I was only gone 3 days out of the week away from home, I mean, let's be real. I wasn't going to be able to cover all the leads that I had in that area and make a second or third visit in order to find those people. And it's at that time that we were forced, out of necessity, to develop a telesales script designed to sell an appointment. And that's what we did. And we started developing it. And the myths, oh, don't pick up the phone, you're going to burn through leads, you're going to lose money. I'm not saying that, you know, some of them weren't true. They were. They had some valid points. But the benefits outweighed the negatives. And the numbers just went through the roof. Now when myself or my guys, we would travel 3 or 4 hours away from our home, we had a more predictable outcome. We knew that if we were to go away for 3 days, we had 25 appointments, and let's say 10 of them were no-shows. But those 15 presentations that we were able to lock up would make, you know, for us to make a little money and come back home with a smile on our face, right? And
long ride home when you don't done nothing.
Right. And over the years, what we noticed is that we started to notice a pattern, Rob, with people. And that pattern was when we would call them to sell them on that appointment, we started noticing that clients would say, well, Laurel, how much is this policy? Who's this with? Do I qualify? Does my husband qualify? Do my kids qualify? And at that time, the only thing we would do is deflect any of those questions and get away from answering any questions and go back to selling their appointment. Well, we finally figured it out. We said, look, this is all myths. Yeah. People are actually giving us information, and collectively, I'm not taking credit, you know, with our friends and other people that are in the telesales industry, we started developing a telesales script that would take us from picking up that phone to closing the deal over the phone And then we would make an appointment the next day to go and collect signatures. And I'll tell you what, man, that made it so efficient for us. I mean, we would drive 4 hours away and we'd be just driving by these people's home picking up signatures. And I'll tell you this, man, when voice signature finally became a reality, it started with a real small group of carriers.
He's like, woohoo!
For me, it gave us an option, you know, it gave us another option. And that option was, okay, I can go down and pick up these signatures and work the neighborhoods, or I have the option to just go ahead and process this application right over the phone. And, you know, that's why I tell people, you know, we didn't become telesales agent overnight, man. It took years. It took, you know, a necessity, you know, and when you don't have deep pockets like some of these big insurance companies have, you got to find innovative ways to make it happen for your family. And you know, that's how we ended up as full career telesales agents today, Rob.
And you know the thing that I like about this is you and I've we probably talked every day for a while now. You know, since we first met, we just,
right.
And my thing is this: I'm not looking to give people an idea to just become telesales agents, no more than you are.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's more about giving these guys an option because, you know, like I got a friend that lives in Minnesota. It gets cold up there, man. He gets like 800 feet.
It does.
It's like, it would be nice to have an option. If you're a manager and you got guys, you know, like the hybrid option, like how you started. And it's like,
yeah,
that's an amazing option because to have an option, to have choices, because there's days some people really like to go to work, but the weather doesn't allow. You live in up in Washington State, man, up in Seattle. It rains.
No, you're right.
You know, you can't
absolutely
there for so long.
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely a good choice.
But that's one reason that I wanted to have this interview with you, man. An interview. I'm not like Howard Stern giving an interview or anything out there, man. I'm kind of raw. I'm not very good at. I mean, this isn't my thing. It is what it is. You know, I'd rather be asking the questions I want to ask you. But one of the reasons I wanted to do this because I like the options. And when I mentioned it to you, you said, you know, when you started, you was a hybrid agent, and really realizing it, like you was talking about.
I didn't even know, man. I didn't even realize it. And we were breaking all these myths on the phone without even realizing it. So, you know, when voice signature became a reality, it dawned on us. You know, we're like, wow, you know, you know, what can we do? Yeah. But, you know, for people that have bad weather, you know, other people that they're sick, you know, they got an injury. You know, I was talking to a guy the other day and he said, hey, you know what? I love knocking on doors. I can never be behind a desk, but you know, for a month that I'm going to be out from the surgery. Hey, can you show me how to sell on the phone? Absolutely. You know, and I'll be the first one to tell you the telephone is not for everybody. You know, it's just not. You know, some people just can't stand, you know, standing behind a computer talking all day. I mean, they just can't. They need that, you know, excitement of being out in the field, knocking on doors, engaging with their clients. And that's totally fine. You know, but it's definitely a good option. You know, to include in if you're a field agent, it doesn't take away from anything.
Let me ask you a question, because here's the thing that really blew my mind. I mean, because you know, we've got this app coming out.
Right.
That's something we've been working on. And I started working with Cardone, and then I find out that you've got a training program. So I know you know what's up, man.
Right.
I think the problem, the myths are because people aren't properly trained. But I mean, your program was so good that
correct.
Cardone's willing to put it in his program under Grant Cardone use. So that's pretty strong. What brought that on? I'm just curious.
You know, it honestly a blessing, bro. You know, a blessing. Simply because, you know, we had been basically chasing Grant for a long time, talking to him about Final Expense Telesales University, you know, just the concept of it. But I think what really brought us together was that Grant and his staff, they were able to identify that in our industry, the insurance industry, there is a big gap or void of people that are training their people right. You know, nowadays, most of the agencies are just, it's about hiring, whatever sticks, you know, that's it. And the old ways of doing things, of training people right, has kind of disappeared in our industry. So, you know, when I say it's a blessing, you know, everything Grant said he would do for us, he delivered on. And when he says, hey, man, overpromise, overdeliver, I mean, when it's coming from Grant and his staff, That is an understatement, man. And that's why I say it's such a big blessing for us, because we have the same belief system that if you train people right, whether it's in the field or over the phone, you're going to generate top producers and a good kind of agent that can have a long-term career. But, if Grant's watching this, thank you, Grant. I mean, you've definitely made an impact in our business and
Hey, if Grant,
what we're trying to accomplish.
thank you for watching it, Grant. I feel really special. I'll be honest with you, because I don't even know if I'm on Grant's radar yet, even though we're doing some advertising through there. But yeah, dude, it's just impressive. But the thing is, and here's the deal, guys. They're putting together a plan. We've talked about this, to where people can go on here, and just like you do with Grant Cardone, you can sign up for that, but you can also sign up and learn how to do the telesales program. And
right.
These guys have done something amazing here. And Laurel, I sit up with him on the phone one day. We were doing he did a live video with me on his program. And I mean, he's got a couple ways he does it. One way is for people that want to come into the program. And there's other ones for people that just want to do it as a hybrid agent,
Right. Right.
Go out, or if it's bad weather, you sit on the phones, you call your leads, you got phone numbers on. Yeah, basically close the deal on the phone, and hey, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll get a signature. It gives you an option, so you
absolutely
excuse not to go to work. And if you got a team,
absolutely,
it drives you crazy when you got 5 agents sitting at the house because there's a little snow on the ground. Now, me, I'm a lunatic.
Right.
I'll go out in the snow. It doesn't ice. I don't care, because I'm like, hey, they're gonna let me in.
You put on your boots?
I don't care, man. I'll roll up. I got a buddy named Hector Buddha, man. He'll go up to the door without a coat on. He's in Pennsylvania, and you know how cold it gets. He goes up without a coat on, shivering. So, but to be able to know that you got a policy sold before you get there, to already know what's going on, you just walk in the house.
It helps. It helps big time. It does. And one of the things that I like about the app that you guys have been developing, and is that for a field guy, like I've told you, if they got their telephone script in there and they're out let's say they're in the car waiting for an appointment. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was booked through the day, right? And I was waiting between appointments, right? If I had a no-show, I couldn't go down the neighborhood and knock on doors, but I can definitely jump on the phone and start making a call in my car. And now with today's technology, I mean, guys, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. If it means one extra app or 2 extra apps a week for an agent in the field, I mean, that could make or break some of our agents, when it comes down to it.
Too, because when I was in the car business, I don't know if it's a little off script, but when I was in the car business, I would go out there and there would be people come on the car lot, and it's like everybody knew they couldn't buy anything early in the day, because you wouldn't get real customers till later in the evening during the work week, and nobody would, they laugh and they sit around talking their stories and whatever, their war stories. And dude, I was out there and I grabbed them when I would work them like they were millionaires, And finally one day when I asked him, like, man, why are you out here working these people can't buy? I said, Michael Jordan had become that good because he just stepped out on the court before they played the game. I said, I want to be ready when the game starts, man. I want to know that I've got my I've got my momentum going. And to have appointments all day when you're sitting there waiting to be able to get on the phones, that's keeping your stuff together. That's keeping you sharp.
Absolutely.
That way when you show up the door, it's not like getting warmed up. You're warm. You're ready. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
Man. I want you to go ahead and give your website out, man, and tell the guys what options are available now as far as getting to that. But, guys, I'm going to tell you, if it's good enough to be on Grant Cardone U, then you know it's the real deal. This guy's no joke, man. I'm telling you, I feel so humbled that he's on here. I mean, it's just I'm sitting here in my living room. I'm trying to give you a nice backdrop and sit in my weird little homemade office I got down there. But but man, I'm very humbled that you're here. I appreciate you, man. I see us being friends a long time from now, and we're even working on some techniques for telesales for you guys. So,
right, right now. As we build Final Expense U with Grant and his staff, at first it was mainly designed as just a career path for an agent to give them an option. And, the more me and you have discussed this, we're going in the direction of adding it as a tool for a field agent. And I think that is a good tool for a field guy that just doesn't like the phones, but at least they know how to do it. So if they're ever in a crunch or in a bad weather or anything, or they're on vacation and they still want to be plugged in, I mean, they can do it.
Too much, before they jump on and make a few sales before they run into their fight.
I mean, you almost need it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm on vacation, I'll jump on the phone and plug in 2 or 3 hours. I just kind of need it for myself, right? But it's just a great option. It's an alternative. I've never said, that telesales is the best in field. Never. It's an option, and for for females, some females don't like going into bad neighborhoods, and we've seen that a lot of females feel more comfortable getting on the phones than going into bad neighborhoods. I mean, we can talk about it all day, but I think if people look at it as an option and they do a little bit more than listen to hearsay, I think you'll find that it is a great option to at least consider.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And your stuff was designed. It's in that whole what do they call it? The Lightspeed virtual training program. It's
Right.
a system. We're gonna
Yeah.
have Brad Lee on next week, man. I
Right.
don't know
Oh
if I
man,
know where
he's
to put it
awesome.
to have a backdrop, because I mean, I'm like I said, I'm pretty humbled by those people that are coming on, especially you. You're kind of the start of something big for us, man, and I'm excited about it. Anything we can ever do to bring value, that's what it's all about, bringing value, because these agents,
I appreciate it.
so many of them get their license, they're promised these dreams, but they can't all do with the same thing everybody can do. To have a choice to keep going forward all the time is an amazing option. So
That's
I
right.
appreciate it. But your website
That's
is
right.
www.finalexpenseu, FINALEXPENSEU.com.
That's right. That's right.
Check out Laurel. If you're not a friend with him, friend him on Facebook. Send him some messages. Man, he will be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Post questions on this thread. Laurel will be coming back to this after Bible study, and he'll be answering those questions for you.
Yeah, anything.
And Laurel, maybe we'll get you on here in a month. I'm going to move to Texas at the end of this month. So after the 20th,
Right.
Texas from Kentucky, and I'm really excited about that with my partners. And man, go enjoy Bible study. Say a prayer for me. I need all I can get, guys, buddy.
Yeah, me too, bro.
And I'm gonna leave.
All right.
I have a few more messages for these guys before we go. But man, I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
All right, Rob. Thank you very much.
You got anything you want to add before you go?
No, man. Thank you, and God bless you
Bless
guys.
you, man. Great job. Thank you for being here. Guys, I'm going to tell you what, to be able to get somebody of that caliber in here to tell this stuff to you guys, man, I mean, I'm humbled that you guys listened in the first place, I'll be honest with you. But to have somebody like Laurel come in, he's been doing this for a long time, and he's got a lot of knowledge. So, guys, reach out to this guy. If you have questions, post them up in the group. I can't see anything because there's a lot of lights and stuff going on here because I feel like I'm in a dark room. But now keep this in mind, MyMo Pro. You can start pre-ordering. If you're not in the Sell Team 6 group, get in there. The first 1,000 people that sign up for MyMo Pro are going to get it cheaper than anybody's ever going to get it, and your price is locked in. We're going to start that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, 6 p.m. Eastern, you're going to be able to start pre-orders for MyMo Pro and Sell Team 6. And then the next day, I believe it's around 12 p.m. on 12 p.m. Eastern time. I believe it is. I'll double check that and let you know tonight. But I believe it's 12 p.m. Eastern for the public. If you don't make that first 1,000 people, but you're going to get it cheaper than anybody else that is going to get it, you better be the first ones in line, because I don't think those 1,000 are going to last long. I'll get lit up with people interested. It's a game changer, guys. You've seen it. And just to give you a little insight, I don't know how much of this you guys are going to watch, because we've been on here for a minute. But, I mean, all those things that you hate about the business when your phone rings and all these things, it's going to help clean up those. And I'm going to do a video here over the weekend explaining a little more detail about it. But, guys, I'm really excited. If you haven't signed up yet, I did put Laurel's website right there on the top of the thread here. So when the video's over, you'll see the finalexpenseu.com. Guys, check it out. I have an option. I mean, how many days do you sit home because of the weather? The excuse is gone now. You don't have that excuse if you have a way to learn how to do it another way. Don't change it all over. Just make sure you line yourself out an option. Think about all the days you don't go to work because of the weather. What if you can make money half of those days every year? How much more does that add to your income? Anything you can do to make more money and help people, save money, whatever you have to do, take advantage of those options. But once again, MyMo Pro, MyMoPro.com. You can go there. You see our countdown clock where we start for pre-sales on Saturday, and for Sell Team 6, if you're in the group. If you're not, get in the group. We start those pre-sales tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And you'll go in, you'll click the link, you'll sign up, and you will have your pre-order in. You'll be locked in for your price. You're not paying for it now. You don't pay until we launch the product. Hopefully it'll be in about a week from now once we launch it. The beta testers are loving it. If there's any beta testers watching this, I'm sure you are. Post up some comments what you think about it, guys. I mean, we're getting great feedback from these guys. Let them tell you a little bit about it from their perspective. If you don't like it, well, tell them the truth. We'll leave it in there. I won't delete it out. But I don't think there's anybody's not going to like this. It's built around me, and I'm kind of I'm the extreme example of a crazy lunatic sales guy. I appreciate you guys. Remember, next week at 9 p.m. Eastern, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Brad Lee, the real Brad Lee. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. This guy is a training. He knows, he understands the concept of training. The biggest problem in any sales industry is nobody really has really good training. They throw you this, they throw you that, they throw you to the wolves. It's about having a training, taking a course, getting certified to sell your product. I've been in sales for years and years and years. But remember, it's very important that we have training. Brad's going to come in and talk about the importance of it. All the people that have come through here, these big time people. I mean, you got people like Grant Cardone, and you got Tony Robbins and Les Brown. I mean, these guys are amazing. These guys are amazing. I mean, these are some of the best names out here to do sales training and do motivational speaking, and their training is going with the real Brad Lee. So you guys pay attention, check him out. Be on next week. You don't want to miss that. And remember, mymopro.com. You can go there. There's going to be a special link you go to sign up if you're in Cell Team 6. It will be only posted in Cell Team 6, and you have to be a member. It's a closed group. You can request to join. You can join. But you have to be a member to get that special price for the first 1,000. After that, we start pre-orders. It's still going to be cheaper than you're ever going to get it again for pre-orders if you happen to miss that first 1,000. But jump in there. Check it out, guys. Let us know. We appreciate you. If you need us, we're here. Anything I can do, ask questions. You know, we got our renfix.com page. Any help you need with that, let us know. We're here. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week, and God bless.